I'm an American standing in Russia, believe it or not, in a German colony.
About what?
Come with me right now, see this place, and find out what's happening in Russia today. Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. Let's go.
Any other questions?
Well, the thing that stuck out to me most was the marriage situation. That really hit me.
Yeah.
Boat loss.
Oh, didn't I already do that in another video?
No, you didn't. You just told me off camera.
Alright.
Whatever you want to give us.
Sure, yes.
Varia, what's the name of this place?
Old Sarepta.
Where were you born?
I was born in Moscow.
And where else have you lived?
I lived in the U.S.
So I think they're saying this arch is like a dam control, water control. But where do you draw the line then? The mustard capital of Russia.
It was the norm for that time.
These are Protestant Germans that came here, and they would try to convert people with colonies all around the world. But that's not enough.
I don't know if it's enough or not.
Looks like a German restaurant in the distance, maybe.
Was there? It was. No, it's Lenin.
Lenin?
What's Lenin? It's the biggest statue of real human that's lived on the earth. But it's not true because in Brazil they have Jesus Christ. It's bigger than Lenin. It's bigger than Lenin.
It is the biggest statue of a living person that was made while the person is still alive. Tell her in Russian.
Я поняла, но я не уверена, что это так.
Jesus was no longer walking the earth when that statue was built.
Это было...
Does that make sense?
Mao didn't have a bigger statue built of him.
Here is the Volga River. Nice and big. Hello, lady. How's it going, Russian girl?
How are you?
Good, very good.
Okay, it's cool.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You enjoying the trip?
What?
You enjoying the trip?
Me.
The view what you can see good. You can see the big statue of the sword from there, and from the statue of the sword you can see the Lenin statue. Yeah.
So about the river system. Volgograd is built on the river Volga, and a nearby river is the Don. It so happens to be that one of the rivers is 44 meters above the other one. So there's a 44 meter difference in elevation. And they want to get boats from one river to the other to make it easier to transport goods further. And then there's a problem. So you got to lift the boat up 44 meters, which is quite a bit. So what they decided to do is build a system that would capture the boats into a certain area, that would flood the box with water, then would lift up the boat, they would open one side and the boat would go through. So it would raise the elevation of the boat and it would go to the next section of the river. And they built 15 of those in the area, and those 15 boat elevators were able to make up for the 44-meter difference between the rivers. So that is how they connected the rivers and made up the difference in elevation.
Very interesting. Герой.
So Catherine II was inviting Germans to live in Volgograd to basically cultivate the land there and help protect the land against people that were attacking it in the region. So one of those people that came was a Moravian church, is what they're called, the Moravian Church, or Moravian Brotherhood. They started 60 years before Luther's Reformation, but they were already, Protestants, so they were in disagreement with the Catholic Church. There was a German church, and they were doing mission work.
Oh, so they're not Lutherans, but they're like Lutherans.
They're like Lutherans. They're pre-Martin Luther.
Similar.
Yes.
Okay.
And they were doing mission work all over the world.
So we have just gotten off at what they say was built as a German village by Catherine the Great. So this is like a little square here, and the buildings that surround it were, I guess, for Germans to live. There's a little clock right there. So, there's this thing called the Volga Germans. So Germans that Catherine the Great invited to come work and live in Russia. Of course, this was long before the Great Patriotic War and the trouble with Germany in the 1930s and 40s. And my family ancestry is from Russia, but German. So who knows? Maybe my relatives lived in this little square at one point. So this is a map of the German village. A wooden sidewalk here. This little square here looks like where they sing "Who Will Buy" in Oliver Twist. So when the Germans invaded, apparently they spared this area because it was German.
During World War II, because these were ethnic Germans, they were all deported into Siberia.
But I guess some of them came back.
Some of them returned. This is why they didn't die, because they didn't get to fight in the battle. They were deported.
Wow, very interesting. Yes. Right, you're right. So we had descendants for this village because
they were
deported.
Yes.
Wow, if they weren't deported, they probably wouldn't exist anymore.
Yes.
And if it wasn't a German village, it may have been erased by the battle.
Yes, also the Germans were light on the village because they knew it was German.
They had a pharmacy and a woman who told us about this city. As I remember, she when she was a little girl, it still worked.
There was still a pharmacy
working
there.
pharmacy there.
Really?
Yes.
So the tour guide is descended from these people.
I don't know if she's descendant, but that was the area she grew up in. So the school was one of the old buildings that is now part of the museum that she went to. And the place
So when she was a child, it wasn't a museum, it was still an operating pharmacy.
that used to be an actual pharmacy. And now it's it's like the museum's exposition version of the old pharmacy that was somewhere in the colony. So it wasn't necessarily in that building historically all the time. They moved some things around, but it was just to get a general idea of how people lived.
This reminds me of a colonial village in the U.S. I bet they have festivals here where they put on period clothes and sell appropriate food and whatnot. So do you know what this post is for? I think I know. It's probably not original, but I would say it's for tying off horses and wagons. So the Germans that were sent were sent because they were considered people that would be extraordinary, successful.
By their church, yeah.
Ah, right. Okay,
So this
that
was a
makes
church,
sense.
the Moravian Church, and they were doing mission work, and they're still doing mission work in Africa, so they had a bunch of colonies everywhere to convert people, and they sent people, and they built a village, and it looks like it was very productive. So they turned it into Russia's mustard capital. They invented some medicines. They were able to actually get trade and make quite a bit of money. We went to their wine cellar and their food storage spot. That's downstairs, obviously, like a wine cellar is.
They made wine for not just themselves, but for the surrounding area, you would say, like for other Russians?
Yes, there were people that would visit them, and they would come in for a drink. And the interesting thing is that they had a drink limit of 3 per person. Because these people were Protestants, they didn't want people around them drunk in their town. And there are sort of like legends that some Russians would come in twice in the same day wearing different clothes, trying to get more drinks.
So I've come down to a cellar here.
So one of those opportunities was Russia. Since Catherine II was inviting them to live here, tax-free, they decided, all right, we'll go ahead and build a colony and try to get as many people to convert as we can to Christianity. That was the idea. So they moved into the area, which was mostly Buddhist, actually, at the time. And they built their little village.
They wanted Christianity to spread, but Russia, their motivation was they wanted more people?
They wanted the land to be cultivated, and Catherine II was friendly to the Germans.
Right.
So the Volga Germans, as part of the old Sarepta, is part of that. And the name Sarepta is in the Bible, so it's, I think, in Kings is where they mention the city. And I don't quite remember, but it's somehow they saw themselves in that story that is in the Bible as that city, so they decided, okay, we'll call this place Sarepta. Their city was fortified that they built, their colony. So they did hire a Russian engineer to build them a fort around their city. And it was attacked once, but all of the people miraculously escaped. The whole town was burned down, all of their stuff was stolen, nobody died. They all came back, rebuilt everything, and that was that. The one time they were attacked, they all got away unscathed. And then another time, a little kid that was working with a coal threw a hot coal into the grass, into dry grass, which started a fire in their village. Their village burned down again. They once again had to rebuild it.
So for power, they built this windmill which would spin like this, and they could also turn it in whatever direction the wind was coming. This is the church clock tower engine.
It's not an engine, but this is the clock.
The mechanism for the church clock tower. So there's the name of the city again and when it was founded.
They didn't choose people who will go to Russia, to Volgograd randomly. They choose a really smart, cool guys who can build, do something with their hands, like masters of their work. So because of that, it's been a really a great town where they have everything.
Mustard seed?
Горчица.
Yeah, I need you. I'm not going to. I will not. So here are 2 mustard seeds. Apparently they still make mustard products here. Oh, cool. Here are the products. Actually, this past summer, believe it or not, I went to a German village in Russia, in Siberia. So if you want to check out that video, I'll leave the link below. When the war started. So apparently when the war started, all the Germans that lived here, they were deported to Siberia. So, maybe that is the same people that I saw when I went to Siberia to see the German village there.
So they didn't succeed in their mission work, but да, понятно говорю?
Да.
But they had a really famous pharmacist. So they found a clean water source.
Mineral water source.
Yeah, and many people visited this place because of this water. This pharmacist, it was really great and some healing stuff. So everyone liked it, but they didn't succeed in their mission.
Why do you say they weren't successful in their mission?
They were able to convert about 20 people during their whole stay there. If their peak population was 700, and let's say that same year they converted 20 people, that would be a small fraction, but it was 700 people just in 1 year, and during their whole time they converted 20 people. This is because the surrounding area was it was Mongols basically that had attacked the territory earlier, and their descendants stayed there. And many of them, some turned to Islam, some turned to Buddhism. Christianity never got to the region. So most of the people there were like, we're already Buddhists. Sorry.
This building is still in use, not sure what for. We went in the men's store. There was a men's store and a women's store. Has your mind been set free because you lived in America, or have you been brainwashed because you lived in America? That's what people say.
I was not taught any of this in school in the U.S.
Okay.
The education program there, as far as history goes, is quite bad. Mm-hmm. Most of the things I know, I have had to research myself. I had to listen to historians, listen to other people, to other sources. Some of those being in Russian, and talk to people. And none of this was taught to me in my official school program because, frankly, almost nothing was taught to me about world history in my U.S. public school education.
Descendants of this village still go to church here. They still use it for church, and they just baptize somebody, but they do not sit separate, men and women, anymore.
The pastor
Pastor?
the pastor of this colony, one time per year, maybe, I guess, he wrote down the names of women and some brothers also, and he puts all these little notes, paper in some...
In a container.
Yes.
Maybe
A
a wicker
raffle.
basket, I would guess.
Maybe a
Because
basket, yes.
Wicker was the thing they did a lot.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Then he asked, I guess, a young child, like 3-5 years. He asked to bring some paper from this basket, and then they didn't open these papers. And this their pastor, he
Blessed.
He blessed this couple, and then he opened these papers, and there we go.
So
The
was
new
that
family.
random?
Well, the people that wanted to get married that year would write their name down, and then the pastor would have, 10, 20 pieces of paper, and he would sort them out into a way that, people were sort of compatible, at least. Maybe they were sort of in the same trade, maybe as close to the same age as they can possibly be. But of course, the population of this village at its peak was 700 people. So I don't know how many people per year, if that was the peak, would actually want to get married. So it was mostly random, it seems like. They would just do a raffle. And if you want to get married, that's what you're getting into. And the idea...
Wow, that's exciting. Because I thought that the pastor was looking at the list of names and pairing people up. But you're saying it was literally like a raffle, like a lottery.
Yes, exactly. But if 10 people wrote down their name to apply, I guess, for marriage, you could say, and 2 of them were like, all right, this guy's a loser, he doesn't have any money, he's not getting married, and then some people got denied if the pastor thought they weren't ready or unfit for marriage at that point. And he would try to pair the others as best as he could, but at the end it would still be a raffle. It was never the pastor's decision. The idea is that you let God's will decide your partner for your life, because man is not wise enough to be able to choose a lifelong partner.
In your room, there's a strange door. Look here. I open music. See?
Weird. And it goes the other way too?
Yes.
Whoa, and there's another boy. I guess there wasn't a whole lot of space, and so they want the door to be halfway on both sides of the doorway.
And this day was either the best day of their life or the worst day of their life.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the best day, because they were believers, and they, I guess, was also think that it's the good decision just to let God choose who will be their partner, I guess.
I like your attitude, Varya.
And I think they did say that most of the people living in the town were married for a long time and had many kids. So it seems like, it wasn't a totally awful idea, I guess.
Well, maybe we should institute this system now, like today. What do you
Like
think?
legally, like enforce it?
No?
No.
So it was good for them, but not for you.
Yes.
So we've come to this restaurant that I thought was German. Apparently it's Russian. And check out this old car here. So it looks like we're in a place with some character, hopefully. I think it's very, very, very cool. Nobody's here though, so I guess I'm the only one who thinks it's cool. There's a boat. Whoa! This is big! Oh my gosh! His head's as big as yours.
There's a fish with.
It says piranha, I think, in Russian. Do you know what piranha is?
No, but I think there's a fish.
They are known as fish with teeth that eat people, like kill them. I don't know if that's just a myth.
You know what? I think this fish eated this fish.
Ate that fish.
Yes.
No, it's
This
still
does
moving
not
around.
look like a normal fish.
Oh, so we're like in a castle here.
Yeah, duh.
Shy. I'm glad. I want some tea too, so that's good.
Я заказала один, ну ладно. Нет, вы сказали 2 чайничка. 2 чашечки. 2 чашечки. Я
That's not a show. Got you. Maxime has borscht. It comes with
И рыбу
slices of pig
Это не рыба, это сало.
Сало возьми.
called sala,
Да, сало.
Сейчас возьмем. Мне просто некуда положить.
and they call this gray bread, I believe. It's not dark, it's not white.
Положи на хлебушек, Максим.
Sure, I'll try it.
На хлебушек.
А хлеб?
Oh, on the bread?
На хлеб.
Ой, я хочу сало.
По-русски.
Sveta got a cream soup, and Alex got the same thing. He wants to be like his mother.
It's not the same thing.
It's not?
It's with chicken.
Oh, Alex has chicken cream soup. And Sveta has
Cheese cream soup with chicken.
It's not very cheesy.
cheese cream soup with chicken.
У
Okay,
меня with prawns.
so cheese and chicken. And Sveta, you have...
The same but with prawns.
Ah, okay, so it's the same base. But you have shrimp. Yes, Max?
Prawns.
Oh, wow. You have borscht, cabbage soup, prawns.
Prawns are called shrimp
Yes, prawns.
in the West.
Yes.
It's also in the West. UK это in the West.
Varya got something different. What is it, my lady?
I got mushroom cream soup.
Mushroom cream soup?
It should be in some bread, like
Oh, a bread bowl.
It should be in a bread bowl, but they ran out.
Oh, that's a surprise.
and some I don't know what is it. Подорожник какой-то. Маленький листик.
Christoph got a hamburger and Alex got a hamburger. Is that pretty much it, Alex? 2 hamburgers? Nice.
It's bigger than the rest of
And French fries. And Sveta got me Kiev chicken. Right, Alex? Now it's your turn to leave a comment and let us know what you think of this place. Would you have enjoyed living here? Also like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the share button, send this video to your friends, and click the box to see what happens next. This is just one in a series of videos that we are filming here and about Victory Day. If you'd like to see them all, go to the playlist after you seen this video.
Full disclosure, the interview at this German pub was actually filmed in Moscow.
So another thing we saw on our way to Sarepta was boats.
Предок. Точнее,
Descendants. Ancestor.
в общем,
Yeah, look,
какой-то там вот
ancestor.
ребенок, кого-то там, вот кого-то там.
Descendant.
Да.
Well, I would guess that religiously they didn't want to be a part of helping drunkenness happen.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So that's why they would have this rule. Not because they didn't want drunk people around them necessarily.
Any final thoughts?
I don't think so.
Good. All right. Got it.